with another project here today. Today we are going to be experimenting with different types of concrete to make little coasters. We've already done a little bit of experimentation in the past with this, but we really want to dive real deep into it today, play around with all the different kind of mixes of concrete we can get and the different kind of molds we can use. So in the past we have used this pink mold we have. It's done okay. The problem we have with it is it's not perfect. It has some really just off edges. It never formed quite right. There's some gaps and ridges in it. So we tried making a second one. The problem we had with that one is it slightly deformed when we formed it, so it's not even. So we're hoping to redo that a final time. May not be, but we're going to try to do it one final time. I have a plan for this one that I think will make it work really good. We have a thin layer of resin on top that helps make it quite smooth, and it goes down the side slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand the mold with some 400 and 800 grit sandpaper. Just try and clean up a little bit of the bumps and stuff we have. We're not trying to really change how this mold looks, just clean it up a little bit. And then I'm going to pull out our silicone, and I'm going to mix up a layer, coat the top of it with silicone. I'm going to come back once that is dry, mix up a second batch of silicone, coat that on top again. Now, while that is still wet, I'm going to mix a batch of Proto Putty and put that on top one last time. And then depending upon where we sit with that, if it's real firm or not, I will probably mix up a tiny little batch, put a thin layer on top, and mount a board on top to give us a nice sturdy base to work with. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the sanding and the Proto Putty, and we'll see you back once we have this mold put together. Alrighty guys, so we got the mold out, or the molded pieces out here, and this is the mold we are left with. So the next step in this process is to mix up the concrete, and we'll start testing a whole bunch of pieces. We are going to utilize all 5 molds we have, just for the sake of time, to test the different ones. And we'll get into the different concretes we have here. We have a fast curing concrete. I think it's got like an hour cure time on it. Then we have a Pro Finish 5000, which is supposed to be a really hard concrete. And the final one we have is a grout mix. So we're probably going to do all 3 separate, and then we'll do some mixes of them, and finally we'll take all those pieces and we're going to do a strength test on them, and also look at how quickly they dry and how well they cast. We've already done a few of these, but this is to really dive in and show you guys what the different mixtures are going to be like, and go from there. So we'll go ahead and jump over to the concrete and get into that. Alrighty guys, we are back and our molds are done. We demolded everything and the molds came out really quite nice. They're flexible, they're a little rigid, they're exactly what we wanted. So as I said, I'm probably going to utilize all of the molds we have, both the bad ones and the new good one we got here. And we'll start doing some test pieces. I think for today we are going to do one of each. We're going to do the quick cure, we're going to do the pro cure, and we're going to do the grout, just all 3 separate. And then I'll probably do 2 mixes with the quick cure. I'll do a grout mix and I'll do a pro finish mix, and those will be 50-50 mixes, and then we'll pull those out and see what we got. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. I'll show you our little setup here for what we got for sifting out the aggregate from the concrete, and we'll just get right into it. So here is our setup, guys, for sifting the aggregate. We got a little, this was a plant basket for a pond, and it works great. You can use anything really to sift out this aggregate. But this is what I got, and it works pretty good. So I just take a little Dixie cup, fill it up here, and I'll just get a couple scoops in here. And we'll just, slowly sift it out here, and we'll be left with the aggregate. I've just been dumping that in a bucket here, and once we get it all sifted out, we can get it mixed up. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, you can click right here to see my latest video. Or you can click right down here to see what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. And if you click right here, guys, that'll take you right to my channel where you can subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos. Thanks again, guys. And as always, happy projects. Alright guys, so we've got all of our molds put together here, and so far they're coming out pretty good. You missed the very last one here. That's because I ran out of memory on my card, so always check your memory if you're filming. But something I want to show you real quick. Most of them, they're starting to solidify a little bit, but there's a few that are still like liquidy. But the quick here stuff is already rock solid. So let me see if I can get a good angle for you guys here. So you can see how it's still shiny, and some of these are still very, very wet. But then you come over to the quick here. It is hard to the touch already. So, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to, but I could probably pop this out of the mold already. I'm still going to give all of these 24 hours to cure. I don't want to mess around and accidentally break any of them while they're still wet. So that's what we're going to do. And we'll see you guys back in 24 hours to demold these and see how they came out. And then we'll probably do a little bit of a strength test on these, see if we can snap them in half and go from there. Alrighty guys, so it has been 24 hours. These are dry, so we're going to pop them out. And then they're still damp slightly, so I'm probably going to kick them in an oven for like, gosh, I don't know, a couple hours probably. See if I can get some of that moisture out. If not, we might leave them for another several days to fully dry. But let's go ahead and pop them out. Before we do that, let's go ahead and mark on the back here what they are, just so we don't forget. Alright, could not find my regular Sharpie, so we're going with the Behemoth. But we got a fast grout. We've got a fast pro. We've got a grout. We've got a fast. And we've got a pro. Alright guys, so these came out incredibly nice. I am super happy with them. They sat in the little oven here for probably about, I think it was like 5 or 6 hours running, and then they just sat overnight to fully dry. So they're pretty solid now. I could probably go a little bit longer, but I don't think we need to. So first glances, we'll just go over a few of the things. So we got the Fast Cure and the Pro Mix. And surprisingly enough, this one made the most bubbles. Now, I don't know if it's mold based or if it's the mixture based. I think it's the mixture because it's still a pretty smooth surface. It just has a lot of bubbles in it. So this probably won't be the best one. Let's see, next one we got is just the straight grout. Straight grout is rather smooth. But it did come out with kind of a matte finish, which isn't the end of the world. But it's not that crystal clear, smooth finish we were looking for. Next we got the Fast Cure and the Grout. This one actually came out pretty nice. Again, it had sort of a matte finish to it, but very few bubbles. Now the surface is all wonky, but that's the mold, and not the actual piece itself. The sides are rather good. So that leaves us with our Pro Finish and our Fast Cure. Both of these I was genuinely impressed with. So the Fast Cure came out rather smooth, and consequently the Fast Cure was done in an hour, and then the 5 hours, 6 hours it was in the heater. So I'm rather impressed with how smooth this one came out and how quickly it finished up. But the one that I am the most impressed with is the Pro Finish. It's hard to see with this one, but the surface is quite literally I won't say mirror smooth, but it is as smooth as that mold was. I mean, it's like glass on the top, and there's very few bubbles in it. So part of me thinks that some of those bubbles can be taken care of as we put it in. But we'll play around with that one a little bit. So I think Pro is the way we're going to be going here. But next portion is to test these. So I think the very first thing I want to do for the strength test is, or I should say more of a durability test, is just what they'll run into on a daily basis. So I'm going to back this up here. There we go. So first test I think we're going to do is just to drop them on the ground and see what happens. So first one I got is the Fast Cure and the Grout. So we had a little bit of chipping, not too much. We'll do it one more time. Again, not too bad. It's holding up pretty solid. Next we'll do the Fast Cure with the Pro Finish. Alrighty, and this one straight shattered. So that's kind of what we're trying to avoid. Now I don't know if we just got lucky with the first drop. We'll do the Fast Cure and Grout one more time and see if we can get a nice non-corner hit here. There we go. So that one too shattered. So it seems like if they land flat on their face, they're shattering. Next one is going to be the Grout. And the Grout had no resistance. Grout just shattered right away. Next we'll do the Fast Cure. Wow. Okay, very minimal chipping. I was expecting this one to be the weakest of all of them. That was a flat hit, and oh, we did get a fracture on the back. It's not a through and through fracture, but it did fracture. But that took several drops to get it to fracture. And last one is going to be the Pro Finish. Theoretically, this one should be the toughest of all of them. I don't know if that toughness, though, is actually going to make it more brittle. So we'll see. Okay, so immediately we got a corner chipping off. And shattered on a flat hit. So all of them shattered. Honestly, the Fast Cure had probably the best resistance of all of them. So let's go ahead and back up here. So for the next test, I think we're gonna try and just see if we can snap them. So we got, this is the Fast Grout, and that was easy, really easy to break. So Fast Grout is way fragile. Next will be the Fast Pro. Fast Pro, same deal. It shattered with little to no force. Next we will do the Grout. Grout just coming right apart. Next, Fast Cure. Okay, that took a lot more to get it to shatter. Quite a bit more. And finally, the Pro. Okay. I can't break this. Maybe the smaller piece. Wait, no. Yeah, this is Pro. No. So let's do this. Let's get a little hammer. We'll use a screwdriver. Alright, so we'll get the Pro, sandwich it halfway. Okay, so that, I mean, I didn't have to like bear down on that, but it took a substantial hit to get it to break here. So this Pro finish is quite impressive. It is the strongest of the two, or of the three we mixed. I'm finding it doesn't like heavy impact. So like trying to break it, it won't go. But it likes to shatter a little bit more. So I think it is down between the Fast Cure and the Pro finish. The mixtures just did not work out well. They were probably the easiest ones to break. I was genuinely impressed with how quickly those broke. So I think out of our two, the Pro had the highest strength, and the Fast Cure had the best resistance to shattering. So, and funny enough, our mixture of the two was one of our worst ones. So I think if we were to do this again, the ones we will be working with are the Fast Cure and the Pro. Grout doesn't have the strength required, nor does any of the others for that matter. So we'll go ahead and call it here, guys, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to make a lot more of these coasters and be able to finish them off, maybe spray paint them and give them some good look to them. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, you can click right here to see my latest video. Or you can click right down here to see what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. And if you click right here, guys, that'll take you right to my channel where you can subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos. Thanks again, guys, and as always, happy projects.